Hey guys, it's Nick here. Wanted to go over another hand I played recently, and I want to, without spoiling it too much, talk about possible mistakes that I made. And the reason why I titled this Stick with Your Plan is because, as you'll see, I kind of change the way I want to play the hand throughout, and I think it's important just to stick with a certain plan and go with it. So, I'm recreating this on Poker Poise again because I couldn't find the exact hand, but I knew it was something very similar to this. This is the main villain. The reason why, um, I'll just go in the hand. Um, we have one caller from under the gun. We're playing six max 50 NL. I mean 100 NL, and he raises to three, which is pretty standard. And I call, and the other guy calls. I just want to stop here really quick. This is a hand. Sorry, this website will just scroll down automatically after one street of betting. Um, this is a hand that I would three bet against a fish on the button, and I didn't know this at the time, but this player was a pretty big flip, a fish. He After this hand, I played a bunch of hands with him, and he ended up, I think, giving me most of his stack. He was really aggressive, really crazy. It was pretty awesome, but I didn't know this at the time since this is the second time I've sat down. I would definitely three bet this on the button against a maniac like that. Anyways, we go three ways to a flop. Flop comes 8-3-6 with two clubs. Um, my plan here is if it's checked to me is to bet. I have backdoor clubs with two overs. Checking to me on a board like this is a lot of weakness, and despite my equity, get a lot of um, I could get a lot of people to fold out better hands than ace jack if they have a three or maybe even a six, but I doubt that if they check to me. First guy checks, second guy bets, and now here's the strange thing. He bets $1 into which was 10, 50, and I was like, okay, this is strange. Now you have to realize that something like this happens like all the time. Not even just online, but in real life, live poker. The These players kind of don't really understand what to do. Just so you know, like when I'm getting 11-1 pot odds, I'm not folding like almost anything, especially something with as much equity as Ace Jack, which is around 20% anyways. So why not raise here? The reason I don't raise here is because the it's strange that a lot of times when I see this, he either has top pair, weak kicker, and will not fold until like the river, and that could be kind of risky to me. But the main reason is I've seen this. It acts sort of like a donk bet sometimes. A donk bet, for those that you don't know, is a bet that is when someone bets into you when they don't have the pre flop initiation or the previous street's action. So if you raise pre-flop and then a guy bets into you, that's a donk bet. So this kind of acts like a donk bet. And I heard a great thing of someone who talked about a donk bet once. It was they really they really don't want you to. I mean, they sometimes they want you to raise and sometimes they want you to fold. So what do? You call. So I I did call because and the next guy folds because the reason I didn't raise is because not only I said he could have top pair bad kicker, but I've seen people do this with like sets and weird draws and stuff, and they're not gonna let go. Um, so I just didn't think a raise was necessary. I didn't really know what to make out from this bet, so I just thought I'll see another card and we'll get to it. The second was a low card. So this is where I can't remember the hand exactly, but I knew that this was a really low card, and it brought a third club, which is okay. I have the jack of clubs. I'm thinking now, this is gonna be. I wonder what he's gonna do with a third club on board. He bets one again. Now we're getting 13.5 to 1. Here I think, okay, here's time to raise because I have backdoor clubs and this is just so weak. And I can't tell you how many times that I've done this play online where someone bets pretty much the minimum. Oh, that is the minimum. This is 50 NL or 100 NL, and they bet the minimum, and then I raise on the turn, and then they just fold. And even though I only have a draw, I would take a fold here. I mean, this is just so weak, and it's just so weird. I remember like taking like uh half my time bank to think about like the sizing, and I bet and I raised to 12, and he snap called me. I mean, I don't even think I was done betting. I don't even think I was my finger was lifting up from my mouse before he called me. So I didn't. So I was like, okay, here we go. Maybe he has clubs, like so. So here comes the whole theme of the video. Is my plan was if another club's hits is to fold because that's probably his plan. His plan is probably I have a club. I have a pretty good club. I don't know what to do with my hand because I probably have something weird, like two overs, maybe a three or a six, maybe an eight. I was discounting a lot of the eights because it was just so weakening. If a club came, I thought to myself, despite my jack of clubs, I'm gonna fold. I have ace high. Ace high is probably good. I don't think my jack's good. I just can't do it. So when the river comes a club, I'm just gonna fold. What happens? The river comes a nine of clubs. So I'm thinking, all right, he's gonna check. I'm gonna check back. I'm gonna show down my jack of club flush, and I'll if he checks it back, I'll probably win. Not this is just gonna be a hand. I'm probably not gonna think about. Probably not make a video about. Whatever. He leads into me. He donk bets as we were talking about before. $19 into 36. I was like, what? He donked after I just rose. I raised him almost a pot sized bet, and then the fourth club comes and he donks. And I remember being like so mad that this happened that I was like, fuck this. Fuck this guy. He doesn't even know how to play poker. I have a jack high flush. I raised. He bet the minimum two streets, and I raised with a flush. I'm calling him. Fuck him. And of course, he's got the king of clubs, and he beats me with a higher flush. So I just wanted to show you a hand where certainly people like me make a mistake where it's not just an emotional play, but I didn't stick to my plan. Like I literally read his soul. I told you literally the street before on the turn. My ace high is probably good. If a club hits, I'm gonna check back my jack high flush. What happened? The club hit. I didn't check back my jack high flush because there's no way you're gonna get raised a pot size on the turn. A fourth card's gonna come and your opponent donks into you that your jack high flush is gonna be good. It's gonna be the queen, king, or the ace 100% of the time. So the moral of the story is stick with your plan. Don't get overzealous and don't get emotional about this game. Like I made the right play in my head and I didn't do it on the board. So I wanted to make another video where I don't win the hand. I made a mistake. Stick with your plan. I made the right read, didn't make the right play. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.